Hi, everyone. Thanks, Emily.
You're very...
Thank you all so very much for being here. I really appreciate you spending your time with us. We've got a couple of really great dishes coming out for you, and it's been a really nice collaboration with Chef David, amongst others here at the hotel. I must first and foremost say thank you to Jackie, who's been back in the kitchen with me helping over the past 2 days. So I am so pleased to be here representing a products that means so much to me. Just a little bit about myself, if I may. So I was a chef for many years, born and raised in Washington, D.C. I lived and worked all over the world, in Spain and Africa, elsewhere. And I was in Spain when a chef named Jose Andres, if you've ever heard of him, called me and asked me to come back to America, to Washington, D.C., to run his flagship restaurant for him. And there I got very interested in sustainability of products, and throughout all 7 of my restaurants that I then opened, sustainability was really the theme of what I did, with seafood especially. And I had opportunity to leave the restaurant industry. I became an explorer for the National Geographic Society, as well as got very much into public health, where I've been teaching for the last several years. But the most fun thing I get to do is come and cook for people. And especially with lobster from North America is something that I hold near and dear to my heart. Why? Because my wife and I live in Maine, right along the coast, where my neighbors are lobstermen, and our entire community is built upon the health of this fishery. And what's great is that the health of the fishery is due to the work of the fishermen and of the community and their dedication and commitment to sustainability. And so what we end up with is one of the most marquee of all seafood products that we have anywhere in the world. I mean, New England lobster is, that's it, right? I mean, there's very few things that get us going and get us more excited than that. It's sweet, luscious meat. The tail section with its snappy, elastic bite that we so admire. The claws, the knuckles, the mincemeat. All of these different products that we have, sort of taking the whole lobster and showcasing each of its individual little parts. So the first dish that we have up for you today, well, I'm just going to back up one second. So when designing this menu, I had a lot of fun trying to figure out, well, what to cook, because we're dealing with such international cuisines and palates here. So my style of cuisine is sort of California, sort of fresh ingredients put forth with not a whole lot of manipulation to them. And so I sort of took that tact with ingredients that are local to you, trying to showcase the lobster in ways that sort of are relevant to your palates, maybe that you can see them working in dishes you might create. So this is not about me, this is about the lobster. And the first dish that we have is a lobster cotechino. This is lobster and sausage mixed together with some coconut milk in a classic French style of mousseline. And that's got a salad on top of a little bit of mint, daikon, carrot, a little red onion in there, cilantro, and a little chili pati. And that is just meant to showcase, this is the mince meat. So this is all of the meat that's not the claw, the knuckle, and the tail, all of the body meat. Incredible rich flavor comes from this. Any of you chefs out there that want to make a lobster bisque or build in that deep, rich lobster flavor, this is a wonderful product to do that. And then if I may talk about the second dish before it comes out so that I can go back and help plate it. So wing beans, something I've never used before, but I had a lot of fun using this and shaved them very thin with some radishes, with pomelo, and the lobster knuckle meat. And this is my very favorite part of the lobster. I love its texture and its flavor and its aroma. I think it's sort of where, it's just my favorite. It might not be yours. So that's going to be mixed all together with a subtle vinaigrette and a little bit of cashews over top. So those are my first 2 dishes, and then behind me, Chef David is going to have 2 others, a laksa as well as a scallop dish for you. So with that, I thank you so very much. I'll see you again right before the 5th course comes out, which will be the lobster tail. So enjoy. I really appreciate you all being here. I want to say thank you again for coming out and being a part of this meal with us and enjoying these wonderful products. So this very last dish, if you're not full already, you still have a lobster tail and some dessert to eat. This lobster tail is this was raw, processed lobster. So this can be done a couple of ways. This was in the tail itself, just the tail sections that come frozen. It's a really delicious, wonderful product. It also comes in the high-pressure process, which Emily, I believe, spoke about earlier. So those raw tails. And what I've done is I've scented some butter with coriander seeds, and then strained that off and used that butter to poach sous vide these lobster tails. And what you end up with is an incredibly luscious texture to it, meltingly soft. And this is something that's fun and interesting. Normally, the lobster tails are very snappy, very chewy, that wonderful elastic bite. But in this way, it's served over some slightly crunchy vegetables, water chestnuts, carrots, shiitake mushrooms, and then underneath that is a curry leaf beurre blanc. So something that's a little fun, just white wine reduced with the curry leaves and then mounted with the butter and a classic beurre blanc sauce. So a little sort of East meets West flavor profile here. But enjoy just that. I wanted to show you the diversity of what a lobster tail could be in terms of this very slow, low poaching technique. So again, thank you all so very much. I appreciate the opportunity to feed you. It's an act of kindness to be able to bring the best of our place to you, and thank you for receiving that today. So thank you all very much.